The cartel saw him as a 12-year-old pawn they could use and throw away. But after they murdered his only friend, they realized too late they were playing against a 200 IQ Grandmaster. They weren't being hunted by a killer. They were being checkmated. This is fresh. The story begins in Brooklyn, New York, where we see a 12-year-old boy named Michael who is known as Fresh. In the first scene, we see Michael going to a middle-aged Mexican lady's house who looks normal and she offers him milk and cookies, but in reality, he has come here to get packets of drugs. The lady gives him packets of heroin, but 2 packets are missing, which he immediately spots, and the lady, smiling, returns the packets to Michael. Michael is a very sharp boy who works as a drug courier to support his family at such a young age. From there, he takes the drugs and goes to Michael's gang's den where drugs are cut and packed. This whole gang belongs to a man named Esteban, and Michael delivers the drugs to Esteban's men and goes to his school. Because of this work, Michael always gets late for school and gets scolded by his class teacher. In school, he meets his classmates and best friend Chucky, who is a little chubby and overweight and always thinks about earning money like Michael. Michael makes fun of the girls in the class who are practicing dance with Chucky when he sees a girl named Rosie whom he likes. During lunch break, when he is sitting with Chucky and his friends, he sees Rosie again and he leaves his friends and goes to her to talk to her. But Rosie has no interest in him and she says that she wants a rich lifestyle when she grows up, which Michael can never achieve by staying here. Michael feels bad, but he knows that this is his reality, after which we see him going to the train tracks alone, who comes to keep his saved money in an old iron can which no one knows about. Michael saves this money so that one day he can leave this life and go far, and he sits on the same train tracks for lunch and goes home from there. Michael's home condition is also very bad, and because of the absence of his parents, he and his elder sister Nicole live in their aunt's house, who already has 8 children. Because of the presence of so many family members, this house is always overcrowded. Michael's sister Nicole is about to turn 18 and she tells her aunt that she doesn't want to stay in this house anymore. She takes her stuff and leaves from there, but Michael knows that Nicole is actually going to stay with her boyfriend James, who is a small drug smuggler. At night, Michael's cousin comes to him and tells him that his aunt is earning money with great difficulty, so Michael should stay away from gang members or else he might face problems in the future. But it is not possible for him to be separated from the gang because no one will hire him at this age except for the gang. Like Esteban, Michael also works as a part-time drug smuggler for a gangster named Corky, where the customers of this area come to him to buy drugs. For the protection of drugs and money, a gunman named Jake is also kept behind him in the gang, so that no drug addict can steal drugs from Michael without paying money. First of all, a boy buys drugs from Michael in a car, after which a pregnant lady comes there who does not have enough money to buy drugs. She offers her body in exchange for the remaining money, and Michael slaps her and asks her to leave from there. Jake laughs at all this, and after selling all the drugs he pays very little to Michael and other boys like him. No one complains about this because Jake gets angry very quickly and he takes out his handgun for everything. So, Michael goes straight to his boss Corky, who is playing cards with his friends. Michael asks Corky for money and he gives him $50, and he says that there is a small amount of $50 to stand for 6 hours a day. Corky is impressed by Michael's courage and bargaining skills because no one in the gang talks to him directly, and he agrees to give Michael $100 from tomorrow. After this, Michael takes a metro train to a park where people come to play chess. There a man is betting and defeating everyone, and he also makes the mistake of underestimating Michael, and Michael checkmates him in a few moves. After which his father Sam comes there, who is an alcoholic and lives in a separate van from his children. Sam has taught Michael to play chess and he tells him to make his moves stronger because he often forgets to defend while attacking, because of which Sam easily defeats him. The next day, after school, Michael goes to the market with Chucky and his friends, after which they go to Chucky's house and meet his dog, Roscoe. Chucky says that he is going to make Roscoe fight in illegal dog fights so that he can earn money. Michael refuses to do this because he likes Roscoe and he doesn't want him to get hurt, but Chucky reminds him that he is his dog and Michael keeps quiet. After this, he goes to the gang leader Esteban's house and meets him, for whom he works as a drug courier, and Esteban praises his work. But this doesn't change the fact that Michael also works for Corky because Corky's gang is a competition for his gang. He sells heroin in his area while Corky's gang does cocaine business, and Esteban tells him that he should work for one of the two gangs. Esteban is a married man who has 2 children, but he still shamelessly tells Michael that he likes his sister Nicole and he wants to make her his girlfriend. He doesn't tell Esteban that his sister has left home to live with her boyfriend and says that he doesn't talk much to Nicole. After which he goes to his boyfriend James's house to meet Nicole, who lives in a flat above a general store. James opens the door for him and he goes inside the room and meets Nicole and tells her that Esteban is interested in her, but she says that she likes James because Esteban wants to make her his mistress. After a few days, Michael sees everyone playing in a basketball court when Rosie starts walking towards him to talk to him. At the same time, a boy from his class is winning that game. Jake gets angry with that boy and pushes him to the ground, but that boy gets up and starts playing again and snatches the ball from Jake and plays a great basketball. Jake gets even more angry and shoots a handgun at him 3 to 4 times in front of everyone. Seeing this, all the kids start running out of the park and Jake threatens everyone that if anyone talks to the police about this he will shoot and kill them too. Seeing all this, Michael freezes there and can't run away from there because a bullet is stuck in Rosie's throat and she is killed in front of Michael. When the police come there, he is brought to the station but he says that he didn't see anyone shooting and the police release him. This shootout has a very deep effect on him and his father Sam also notices that Michael is behaving very seriously. He takes Michael to his van where there are a lot of chessboards and bottles of alcohol, and he explains to Michael that we can use chess in our life. The motive of every move should be to kill the king of the opponent, no matter how many other players we have to kill, and Michael starts comparing chessboard with his life. The next day, Chucky comes to an underground dogfight with Roscoe where Jake is also there, and Michael stares at Jake because he killed Rosie and a student yesterday for no reason. Roscoe doesn't have any experience of fighting, and even after Michael's refusal, Chucky forces him to fight for money. To save his life, Roscoe injures the opponent dog and he wins the fight. Chucky gets the money for the betting and he is happy, but Michael says that even if you put the dog's life in danger you can earn money, in which I will help you, but don't come here again with Roscoe. In the evening, we see Michael playing chess alone and he warns all his cousins not to touch this chessboard because Michael is now going to apply chess on his life where his every move will take him out of this life of crime. He takes Chucky to Esteban's flat at night so that Chucky can also earn some money, but there Michael sees his sister Nicole and Esteban on the bed without clothes. Seeing his sister's condition, he understands that he is drunk at the moment and Esteban has put heroin on Nicole so that he can now control her and keep her with him. Michael gets very angry seeing all this but he keeps quiet and Esteban keeps Chucky calm like him. The next morning, Michael starts playing chess and first of all, he takes all his savings and goes to a drug supplier named Hector who gives uncut cocaine to Corky's gang. Here he lies to him that he has come to take cocaine instead of Jake for Corky's gang because Jake has gone underground for a few days out of fear of the police. To close the deal, Michael gives him his $5,000 and he also tells him that the police is tapping Corky's gang's phone so that Hector can call Corky and not verify all this. Finally, Hector is convinced by his words and takes the money and gives him the cocaine. After meeting Esteban, Chucky can't keep his mouth shut and, in the air, he starts telling his area and all his school friends that he is now a gang member and will soon rule the whole area. Michael doesn't like this behavior of his but still he overlooks it as childish. After this, Michael takes Chucky to a library where he purchases some thick books in which he can easily hide cocaine and travel, and avoiding the eyes of the police and gang he easily reaches the place where Michael is going to hide the drugs. Chucky has also brought 2 handguns with him, seeing which Michael is shocked and he snatches a gun from him and throws it. But Chucky doesn't give him another gun and says that we are gang members and gang members must have guns, otherwise no one will respect us. Michael gets angry at his stupidity because Chucky will spoil his entire plan. Then a car comes and stops in front of him from which 3 boys come out, but instead of running away, Chucky fires at them and the boys also take out their weapons. Chucky's handgun falls down from a nearby car and the tire of the car breaks with a bullet, due to which Chucky's hand gets stuck under the car and Michael can't get it out even after trying a lot. Unwillingly, he has to run away from there. Those boys come to the car and shoot Chucky and kill him. Once again, Michael is brought to the police station and he lies again that he doesn't know how his friend died. A police detective named Lieutenant Perez gives him his card and tells him that if he ever wants to tell the truth about the spoilers, he can call him. At home, Michael's aunt tells him that it is not good for his other cousins to be involved in the police and gang again, and again that's why she is going to send him to the orphanage. Even in school, everyone blames him for Chucky's death, and when he comes home, he sees his chessboard again and starts waiting for the next move. Then Jake and one of his friends come to pick him up and he takes Michael to Corky in the car, who is very angry. Corky has those drugs hidden in Michael's books in his hand and he asks him that, are you selling cocaine in my area because of Esteban? Michael doesn't answer him, but when Corky slaps him and throws him on the ground, then he says that Esteban has no role in this but he brought this cocaine on Jake's request. Jake is shocked to hear his name and takes out a gun to kill Michael, but Corky's other men point the gun at him and Jake tells them that he is lying. Michael keeps lying and says that Jake has been stealing money from the gang's children for many days and he wants to take over your cocaine business and I bought drugs from Hector with his money, but he warned me that if I tell this to anyone then he will shoot me like my school friends. Jake says that this is all a lie and I didn't buy any drugs from Hector, but Corky asks him that where will you get $5,000 to buy cocaine from this kid? Michael tells him that if you don't trust me, then call Hector once, and Corky calls Hector who tells him that Jake had sent a kid to me with $5,000 who I had sold cocaine to as a gang member. Corky beats Jake and his friend with a chain and beats them both to death, and then he comes back to Michael and asks him that Jake's cocaine was going to be sold through his network. He says that Jake was doing all this with a smuggler named James who is my sister Nicole's ex-boyfriend, and he says that you will find him at your house at 8 p.m. who lives on a store. Then Michael goes to Esteban and his gang and tells them a lie. He says that Corky also wants to come into the heroin business and he is going to come to buy heroin from a smuggler named James. This James is Nicole's ex-boyfriend, and Nicole's ex-boyfriend hears about Nicole's relationship with someone else and gets angry with Esteban and he has to take revenge from Corky. But he doesn't believe Michael and he takes his men to James' house where he sees Corky going to James' house and now, he believes Michael's story. Esteban and his men come out with weapons and kill Corky and his gang, and then Esteban runs upstairs and catches James who still has some of Nicole's undergarments and he shoots him. Michael eats chocolate and normally sees this happening as if this is a chess game. After this Esteban and his gang members run away and he gathers their weapons and hides them in the back seat of the car. Before getting out of his house, he tells his men to throw these weapons in the sea and burn the car so that there is no evidence of this shootout. He is fresh and thanks them for this information as he is alone in the back seat. Michael takes out Esteban's pistol and puts it in his bag and gets out of his house, but instead of going to his house he asks for help from a police officer named Perez and asks him to give him Esteban's address and tell him to come there. After this he goes to Esteban's house and tells him that he can't go to his aunt's house because he is so late and he invites him to his house. After some time, the doorbell rings and while going to Esteban's house Michael hides the pistol and a kilo of drugs under his bed. When the police come there with Lieutenant Perez who says that he has received a complaint of a fight from a neighbor in this house. Michael tells the police that this man has forcibly kept my sister here who keeps threatening to kill us and he has shot my sister's ex-boyfriend James and a gangster named Corky and killed them. When the police search that house, they find the pistol and drugs. Esteban doesn't believe that Michael has played this game and he is arrested, and after going out Michael tells Perez that he can give you all the evidences against Esteban. Against this he is ready to be a witness in the court, but you will have to send me and my sister to a witness protection program where they can go away from here with a new city and identity, and the police department agrees for this. In the end Michael comes to play a chess match with his father, and his father realizes that Michael is crying because he has sacrificed many lives to get out of this life, and even at such a young age his innocence is over. Michael won the game and saved his sister, but he lost his soul to do it. In a world this cold, even the winner leaves the board with nothing left to lose. Was Michael a genius or just a victim of the streets? Drop a comment below and let me know. Smash that like button and subscribe to Cinemaned for more. See you in the next one.